Peace, family. So my Facebook got deleted. I guess the message that I'm trying to share wasn't liked or whatever. So, I'm gonna speak in the spirit, because it's a lot of things that's weighing heavy on my heart. And I just want the people out there to be able to get to know me a little bit and, know a little bit of my history and who I am and where I came from and why I'm so, um, on this movement. So, I was in a on and off, on again, off again relationship for 6 years with my ex, who I still definitely have love for, still, even though we on bad terms, and I have love for a couple of my exes still. One is in a cult, and he's so brainwashed and really trying, and I wish that I could wake him up, but I can't. The other is just doesn't know how to treat a woman, and I was with him on again, off again for 6 or 7 years, and he was like those soulless people that Pharaoh talks about. He was one of them, and I really don't want to get too much into that, but the relationship was to the point where my hair was falling out. Like you see, I have really thick, beautiful hair. If I straighten it, it's like you probably can't see how long it is. It's not really long, but it's probably like right there when I straighten it. But it's all curled up right now. And then I'm mixed. I'm Dominican too, so like right here is really straight. It's not flat ironed. I can't get it straight. Get it to curl up. I washed it and everything. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so yeah, that relationship was really crazy, and they thought I had lupus, and I was in pain all the time, and my vibrations were really really low, and I was chasing and seeking God, and I wanted to be in a relationship that was we were on the same level spiritually, and I wanted him to read the Bible with me, and I wanted us to go to church together, and I wanted us to do all of these things that I feel, or I felt at the time, that a couple should do. I mean, now things are different, and I want to meditate with you, and I want us to talk about the books that we've read, and I'm all about the spiritual journey and development. So yeah, in the Bible, it says to cling to what is good and to flee from what is bad. It tells you to meditate on God's word. It tells you that it is not the righteous who God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah has called. He didn't call the righteous. He didn't call the people who are doing good and all uppity and all that. That's not who he called. He called us. There's 12 lost tribes of Israel. Egypt is in Africa. The first experience of love that you ever receive is from your parent, your mom. The one who went through basically hell and hot water, died and came back to life, nursed you while you were in the room, carried you for 9 months, pushed you out, breastfed you or nourished you or whatever, taught you the first things that you needed to know. That was your mom. If you go back to the story of Adam and Eve, you could just think about it. It makes no sense. And then I'm also hearing that, I'm hearing about ISIS and Assad, and I'm reading all these, different things, and I'm really learning. I mean, not to mention I'm having a lot of spiritual experiences, too. I'm more in tune with nature and vibrations in the universe. Like, I've come to the realization that we are not what we think that we are, but we become what we think about, if that makes any sense. It talks about in the Bible where God's kingdom coming is not all of this peace and everything that we're talking about, but it's destruction, it's natural disasters, it's violence that's supposed to be coming to this world. For me, the Bible and the Quran are books of prophecy, and for me, they directly relate to me, and things in my life are correlating with the things that are in both of these books directly. I do believe that every truth or every lie begins with the truth. The Bible does say in it that it is an allegory. Allegory meaning it is a I can't think of the Webster definition, but basically it's a story made up of truths. It's made from truths. Truths have been taken from it, but the Bible also says the whole world is lying in the hands of the wicked one. So that gives you to, when you think about religion and all of that, it's all meant to separate, but and keep oppressed. But for me, I've discovered that there's only one religion, and because that religion doesn't have a name, I'm gonna just call it spiritual. And everything has a role in it. We were supposed to not look at this one book, the Bible, basic instruction before leaving earth. Basic meaning one, instruction meaning manual. There's something that comes behind it, which I do believe is the Quran. And there's something that comes behind that. I believe that it was probably just this one huge, thick book that the enemy broke apart, translated, and then separated so that we couldn't find out our history. Like, they put it all in front of us, and then they taunted us, and they laughed at us, and they're like, ah, you can't get salvation. Ah, here it is. La 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 la, you can't have it. That's what I believe happened. I'm gonna get to the energies and the things that have been happening to me later. It was a point in time I thought I was crazy or losing my mind because I was understanding babies and seeing things and all of this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously? But it wasn't until I prayed and meditated and cried and studied, and I asked God to give me more faith, and I asked to do the will of God, and I said that I don't know anything and I cannot rely on my own understanding. And I did renounce everything of the world. Like, I probably have like maybe 10 outfits now, where I had a whole lot, and I was in a 3-bedroom house with my ex, and I had my own business, and I was making this money, and I was a hustler, and I had it. Money was nothing. Like, I got it, and I was addicted to it. Like, if I didn't have no money in my pocket, it was a problem. But when I realized that I come from gold, and that I'm trapped in the matrix, and that this paper that they're giving me means absolutely nothing. I would rather barter for like services or time, or because I do childcare. I consider myself a teacher. Kids flock to me. Like, I have kids calling me mom, and I'd be like, no, I'm not your mom. Like, don't do, don't do that, because that's not for me. That's not cool, because mother is like the ultimate sign of respect, and I don't have children, and I wouldn't want my child to be calling somebody else mom. But that's neither here nor there either. My mind goes a lot of places, and I probably tend to ramble. But yeah, as I learn, I will have you guys learning and growing with me, and I intend to wake up the masses. It's black to basics. I buy black and natural. I am down to bare minimums. I will help anybody in need, whether it's, I only have 5 shirts, but if you need the shirt off my back, you can have it. Like, that's really how I feel, because it's all about community and unity and getting back to the love that we once had for each other, and unlocking the spiritual gifts that we had, and not being afraid to step outside the box and really seeing who we are. There's a lot of us that are waking up, and the experience when you first wake up is scary. I'm a mental health major. I took mental health. I graduated. Well, I didn't graduate. I couldn't pass the math. Like, I'm horrible in math, I'll admit it. But I got all type of awards from my school, and I was on the Public and Health Council, and I was on the food committee, and I was on the campus activities board, and I was the president, and I was the treasurer, and I acted as secretary, and I did fundraisers for breast cancer awareness, and I did this and I did that. So, um, like I said, I didn't graduate, but I maintained a 3.7 GPA, and I went to one of the leading community colleges in New York, Kingsborough Community College. Like, there's signs and symbols everywhere. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I'll get into all of that later. But um, I am who I say I am, and my people will know me. And if you are one of my people, you completely understand this video, and you know what time it is. So let's wake up.